your Hi guys on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Welcome so much to the stream tonight. Good to have you on here. Oh, let me say hi to guys on TikTok. So hi John, hi Ike, hi Asiri Joe, hi Nana 2, Edekin, Endurance, Nasire, Cosmos, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and welcome to you guys on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn as well. Good to have you. Happy Sunday, happy new month, happy new 1st of December, or happy 1st of December. Wow, we are finally here. Well done. Congratulations to everybody seeing the end of 2024. Welcome to the holiday month. But my question is for people who experience hormone imbalance issues, because that's our conversation today. I want to know your plan. I want to know what you guys are planning to do. What are we supposed to be doing in terms of food? Let's talk about at least five foods that we can eat during this holiday season that will help to keep our hormones happy. And my question, I was saying to the people on TikTok before you guys on YouTube, LinkedIn, and everybody else joined, I was saying, what are you guys planning to do? What's the plan? What are you intending to? Are you intending to just, it's a holiday, just let me live my life. I'm only fat. I didn't kill anybody, as they say. But what is your plan? Seriously, are you just going to, eat as you like? It's a holiday, or are you intentionally going to do something different? Perhaps swap certain foods off your diet or your meals during the holiday, or are you going to introduce something new? Please let me know. Hi Janet, hi Greenwood Susan, hi Angela, hi Barley Potter 1, Pretty at 55. Hi, thanks for joining. Please like the video. If you're on TikTok, please double tap your screen. Really much appreciate if you would share with a friend. And yeah, please join in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts if you have any questions, especially if you have any of these hormone balance problems. So if you've not met me before, my name is Dr. Sylvia. I'm a consultant in general practice. So that means I'm a family doctor. I'm based in the United Kingdom. And this is a great opportunity for us to have this conversation. If you watched my last video, was it that one? I've been starting a series over the next 4 weeks where we're looking at everything we can do to support hormone health, especially as we get into a new year, so that we don't have to worry about setting a new year resolution that we're probably not going to keep after a few weeks or months. I'm guilty, so I'm not shaming anybody. But yeah, what are the proactive things that we can do to try and keep ourselves in a steady state and not sort of need those kind of interventions? And, by planning, by making some preparations, we can do it. So the key thing to say is that, foods are important. Hi, so this is Swissborn. Just got the #1 gift bag. Hey, what's up, Swissborn? Thank you so much for that. Well done. And thank you. Thank you so much, guys, who are liking. I appreciate that. Please continue giving the video a like. Continue giving the stream a like. Much, much appreciated. Hi, Linda. Hi, Aisha. Please like the live and invite everybody who might be interested in this conversation. So why are we talking about holiday foods? Why is it important? I mentioned specifically if you suffer from conditions that we know are associated with hormone imbalance. So PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, for example, fibroids, endometriosis, PMS, premenstrual tension or premenstrual stress, menopause, if a perimenopausal, lots of different conditions. For some women, it will not even be a specific condition per se, but they might find that they're experiencing certain symptoms, maybe feeling very sluggish or tired, bloated, and so on. And you want to know how to manage and have a smooth, easy time around the Christmas. Now, these conditions are deeply affected by inflammation. Okay, inflammation is a key thing that I know we know about it. And if you don't know about the effects of chronic inflammation and disease and the link to food, then where have you been? It says swipe to view more comments. Help. Okay, let us see. You guys know I'm still quite new at this TikTok thing, so please Please bear with me. Okay, so I'm seeing, let's see, I'm seeing Kofona, I'm seeing Maria. Hi, Maria Rodriguez. Conde Lahawa, hello, Jean, hello, Smart Mattel. Thank you for joining. Guys, let me know, please. I'm interested in your comments. I'm interested in knowing what you want to do. Share your tips, share how you're going to overcome the challenge, the hormone imbalance challenge that the Christmas or the holiday season invariably will bring, whether it's the stress of activities, whether it's the type of food that we traditionally like to eat. It'll bring its challenges. So I'm interested in knowing what you plan to do. Or maybe you're not even bothered or you don't think it makes any difference. So hi to Conde Lahawa. Nice to meet you. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so it's important as we go along this journey of our diet or what we're eating to think about how it could affect chronic inflammation in our system, how it could affect insulin levels, and how it might affect different nutrient deficiencies, perhaps vitamin deficiencies like vitamin D. Last time we met on our live, we talked a whole lot about vitamin D, and we know the importance when it comes to not just, regulating calcium and, phosphate in our body, but also to help as an anti-inflammatory tool, as of big relevance in a condition like fibroids. So we talked at length about that. So let me just set the stage for those who are just joining. Hi, Faisal, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Hi, Queen Ade. Hi, Martin. Hello, Edun, and hello, Smart Mattel. And hi to you guys on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hi, Angelique Austin. So nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. Please let me know, guys, any thoughts or comments on this particular topic. I really want to hear from you and hear what your plans are, how you're planning to navigate Christmas. If you're one of those lucky people that don't particularly have to navigate because either you already have a sensible approach, please tell us. We are looking for this sensible approach that we can stick to, motivate us to do well and be good in terms of eating over the holiday period. Okay, so let's set the stage. Let's set the stage. Say that very quickly. Let's set the stage. Anyway, let's set the stage. So PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, it's a very common hormonal condition, affects women of childbearing age and can even start from adolescence, really from teens, pretty soon, after puberty. And it's not just in one geographical area. This is all around the world. It's a very common condition. Now, the symptoms can fluctuate, so it can be a bit difficult to diagnose early on if you're not sort of switched on and really wanting to look for that. And I think we need to do a lot better in terms of diagnosis, but it's associated with hormone imbalances. So not just estrogen and progesterone, we're also talking about insulin resistance is a concern that might develop alongside with PCOS. And then issues to do with testosterone being higher in women than what you'd expect to find in a woman. So comparatively higher than what you would expect. This can also lead to irregular periods and, of course, developing cysts within the ovaries. Having irregular periods means that ovulation is not happening regularly, so it can make it difficult to get pregnant. And, of course, PCOS is associated with infertility. As of yet, we don't know the cause of PCOS, but it's a chronic condition that many women live with. And we don't have any treatment per se. What we tend to address is we look at what are the particular complications it can have. For example, I've mentioned difficulty with getting pregnant, but also the increased risk of diabetes that can happen and other complications. And so we try to target treatment towards those issues and whatever symptoms that a woman might have. For example, challenges with weight control, acne, facial hair, and so on. There are specific treatments that will be targeted towards those things. So that's PCOS. On the one hand, it is a hormone imbalance problem. There is a challenge in communication from the brain to where the organs are located. And because of that challenge, which may happen, like I said, we don't know the cause, but we think there may be some association with inflammation. So along the line, while we don't exactly know why this condition developed at the very basic reason why they happen, we know that they may be associated with things like chronic inflammation. Let me just say a quick hi because this thing has been moving up. Let me say hi to somebody. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Tony. Hi, Tash. Hi, Exotic. Hi, Kanjudi. Did I say that? Kangutiji. Hello. Hi Sue's Blues. Hello Mami Mia. Hi Divine Love. Welcome to you guys joining on TikTok. So good to have you on here. Right, so that's PCOS. Endometriosis again is common. We think 10% of women of childbearing age or reproductive age around the world, and it can begin as early as the first menstrual period. Yeah, it can begin as early as the first menstrual period and can carry on even until to menopause. Yeah, but some people might think, oh, after menopause it ends. I've actually come across reports and women who do still experience endometriosis symptoms. So it is a condition that can come with quite a lot of problem. In this situation, what happens with endometriosis is that lining of the womb that normally lives within the womb and the inner lining of the womb now appears outside of the womb. So you could find it in tissues like the ovary, the tubes. You can find it within the pelvis, and rarely can even travel away from the pelvis and the abdomen, go to different places, the chest, for example. So with all that, with this tissue developing in a place where it's not supposed to be, every time there's a menstrual cycle, there is bleeding. The bleeding leads to inflammation and then scars forming in those areas like the ovaries or the tubes or the pelvis where those tissues are. So it can be a challenge. Let's have a quick look at certain comments. Oh my goodness, I hope I've not missed the comments. I just clicked on something that said messages and then it vanished. So I can't see if somebody was making a comment. I really need to go and study this thing very well too. Okay, fine. I'll just keep looking. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Good Life Bolton. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Lily Divine. Okay, so that's endometriosis. Symptoms, again, pelvic pain, painful periods, heavy periods, painful sex, pain during your periods when passing urine or trying to open your bowels, which, by the way, I do have specific playlists on this condition. So if I seem to be rushing through them, it's because I have discussed them in separate videos, and that's not really the target for tonight. Now we're supposed to be talking about food, but I wanted to just set the stage. That's what endometriosis is. It is also a situation where there is most likely, in terms of cause, which, by the way, did I tell you that we also don't know what the cause is? But we think there may be some degree of hormone imbalance. We think that there may be some degree of issues with the immune system. We think it might have something to do with chronic inflammation. All those things do come into play, even though we don't know exactly why it happens in one particular individual versus the other. Okay, so PMS, lots of women get this condition where there is different symptoms, both physical, emotional symptoms that happen towards the later part of the menstrual cycle, and that's about 1 or 2 weeks before the periods actually flow. And it is definitely a hormone imbalance problem, and this is primarily estrogen and progesterone, and it might have something to do with the way they interact with other hormones or neurotransmitters like serotonin in the body. So women will commonly experience things like mood swings, feeling irritable, low mood, bloating, tender breasts and tummy upset, feel very tired and drained, or have food cravings that they don't experience during the earlier part of the cycle. So my question again is, if you have any of these conditions, and I mentioned menopause as well, or perimenopause, where of course that is another hormone imbalance situation where you now have fluctuating levels of the hormones, dwindling levels of your estrogen, that creates another scenario where you have challenges and that could cause symptoms and make you feel unwell. If you're in this category, are you thinking that you might need to do something about how you eat over the holiday? If you are, please let me know. And if you weren't, and this is like, oh, this sounds interesting, I should be thinking about this, then great. I'm also happy to hear that. And hi to Cheryl Fraser. Thanks, Cheryl, for joining the stream. So good to have you on here. Good evening. Well, it is evening in my end. I don't know where you're watching from, but good, whatever time of the day it is. Says, hi, thank you for your information. Oh, I wish I had access to information about our female bodies when I was younger. I totally understand and totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. We definitely need a lot more conversation. But you know what? I think we're in yeah, it didn't happen all those years ago, but it's never too late. And so now there are lots of ladies, lots of clinicians, both male, female, different specialties, having conversations about women's health. I always want to say hi to people when I see that tag. Lots of information out there that is targeted towards helping us women understand our bodies better. And I'd say keep your ears peeled. So Cheryl says, I wait your information regarding menopause, hair thinning, particularly affecting women of color. I mean, I have a couple of videos. If you look at my menopause playlist on the channel after we finish this, I do have a couple of videos already, and specifically talking about women of color and menopause. And of course, I'm looking at doing more in the future, because there's always something that it's good to have a conversation around, and to chat. Different treatment options come forward. We understand our bodies better. We understand science gives us more revelations, and so on. So there's always a conversation going on. Okay, so these are the conditions that could potentially be affected by your diet if you're not careful over the holidays. So that's the point I'm trying to make, that if you just stick with the usual that everybody else participates in, the alcohol drinks, the chocolates, the candy, the snacks, the rice, the potatoes, all the sorts of things that we traditionally eat, you may find that by the end of the holiday period, you'll be worse off, because these foods can have an impact on your hormone health. So my focus is, what can we take as an alternative? So the very first one and by the way, before I forget, I always like to say while I'm on stream that, sorry guys on TikTok, because you're not going to see it, but I always like to say that conversations here are all about providing health information that should help, give us knowledge and direct you back to your own health provider with whom you're registered, to have a conversation about whatever you're concerned on. So I don't make a diagnosis on this platform. It doesn't make, I wouldn't do that, because I don't think it's ethical. I think it's important that if you have a health condition and you want to have a conversation about it, please chat with your own registered medical provider. But what we're doing here is giving you information that can arm you to speak to your provider about. So the very first one I have on my list is sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, that's the very first one. So sweet potatoes, particularly the orange and purple varieties. So if you're not a sweet potato fan, I'm hoping that if you have any of these hormone imbalance conditions, by the end of this stream, you'll be thinking twice about the value and benefits of sweet potatoes. But the key thing is that they are rich in antioxidants that can protect our bodies from free radicals. While I said that we don't know a lot of the causes of this condition, the truth is that there could be, and studies have suggested a link with chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is already responsible, we know, for things like heart conditions, chronic bowel conditions. So it doesn't, stretch and cancer. So it's not by any stretch of the imagination to consider that there could be a pathway in which persistent inflammation in the system could be associated with things like fibroids, PCOS, and so on. So that's why it's important to look at what can you avoid over the holiday, and what should you take more of, and in moderation, please. When I say more of, I mean, I tend to believe that, live life. Let's live life and be comfortable, fulfillment, quality of life. So saying completely stop taking something usually is not very practical, not very sustainable. Moderation is key. But if you choose to eat more of the healthy foods, then you're likely to do your body, your system a lot better. So sweet potatoes, rich in antioxidants that protect your body from free radicals. Free radicals are those unstable molecules that can damage our DNA and trigger inflammation. So that's why antioxidants are important. They can counter those molecules that lead to inflammation developing. So they contain phytoestrogens, that is sweet potatoes, and they can mimic estrogen effects in the body. Okay, so there are different ways, and I'm sort of playing a little slide on the system that gives you ideas about how you can do your sweet potato. But just go to town and do whatever you want to do. So you can grill your sweet potatoes, you can boil and mash them, you can make them into chips, you can do all sorts of things with your sweet potato. In fact, I would love to hear ideas from people about how they incorporate sweet potato and how they eat it, but there's so many different things that they can do with sweet potato. So that's one food I really want to encourage you if you're thinking about it, if you're looking at how can I improve my diet over the holiday? How can I maintain a good hormone balance, not end up with a worse situation? Sweet potatoes is one food that I would highly recommend. Okay, so the next one, well, it's not exactly the next one. I think it's just related. So I put it as one that is related to sweet potatoes. And this is yam. Yam. So let me share my slide on this. So this is, I love eating yam. I'm originally from Nigeria, as many of you will know, and yam is one of our staple, one of the many staple diets that we have, I would say. But yeah, so this is it is similar to sweet potato, but not as sweet as potato. You can see clearly it also comes as a tuber, but it's not as sweet potato. The other benefit I forgot to mention about sweet potato, of course, is that it's fiber. It's high in fiber, so of course that will help with digestion and help with bloating. So yam is high in fiber. It's a complex carbohydrate, so you're not going to get a sugar rush from eating it. So it helps to stabilize the blood sugar, and it can also help in supporting the production of progesterone. So it can be of value in terms of balancing hormones. So other benefits of yams, it's high in potassium, high in manganese. So we talked at the beginning about trying to avoid nutrient deficiencies around this time. So this will be something good. And of course, you guys on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, you can see the slide. There are different ways that we can prepare yam. But let me also mention the potential estrogen effect of yam. Now, it was a very small study. I read it up and I thought it's a very small study. It's something that's probably not been replicated, but it suggested, after they looked at sort of a handful of women who were eating yam for about a month. Yam was sort of their primary, carbohydrate meal, and they saw that it improved their sex hormones, their cholesterol, and antioxidants. So you could say that, that there could be a link with that kind of benefit in terms of eating yam. But the question I want to ask as usual is, well, how much of the yam were they eating? How much did they eat to get that effect? The bottom line is that eating it in moderation can probably be an advantage to eating lots of processed foods or high fat and high oil foods, which will not do our bodies any good. So you've got lots of different options for how to cook your yams. I'm showing up on the screen. It can help support conditions like PCOS, PMS, because of the effects I've mentioned already. So please consider yams and sweet potatoes in your diet as we get into the holidays. So if you're just joining on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, very much welcome. We're looking at different foods that you might take over the holiday period to maintain your hormone balance, especially if you're somebody who experiences conditions like PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids, if you're perimenopausal, and so on. Hi to guys joining from TikTok. Sorry if I keep looking this way and that way. I'm looking on my other phone to see what's happening. Hey, Princess. Hi, Tintin. Hi, Lucky. Hey, Sylvia. Hi, Sylvia. Sylvia, I do. Hi. I'm just excited at seeing my namesake on the screen. Okay, so we're talking about holiday food. We've talked about 2. Let's go on to the next one, which is a drink. And many of you guys might know this drink. It's a very popular drink in Nigeria and maybe other parts of the world. I don't know. Well, it's popular in India anyway, because it's hibiscus. It's hibiscus tea, hibiscus infusion. In Nigeria, we call it zobo. But this is a tasty drink, a healthy alternative to the soft drinks that are full of sugars, juices that are full of sugar. But this is healthy, not just tasty, it's also healthy because you have antioxidants in the hibiscus that will help to detoxify estrogen and reduce inflammation, all the things that we want to hear. So the zobo drink is rich in antioxidants. It helps the liver to work, so the liver is able to get rid of excess hormones like estrogen. It's also anti-inflammatory, and with those reasons, you can see why it would be of great benefit in conditions like fibroids, PMS, conditions where there's, high estrogen or estrogen dominance. Now, let me say this, and I think it's really important so that, I'm very clear. And I always try to be clear in my videos. We don't have the evidence that shows that any one of these particular, foods can clear these conditions, can shrink fibroids or treat endometriosis or PCOS or all that. It's using them as part of an overall measure in terms of treatment. So there is lifestyle, which is if you were somebody who was not very conscious of the type of food or diets that you were taking, that you change them. There is medical option, there is surgical option, and it can vary from one person to the next. We have these options for everyone. I think lifestyle is really important. Lifestyle meaning things like, look at your diet. Are there foods that you're eating that contribute to inflammation? Cut them out. Look at your weight. Is it possible to cut down on your weight? Do so. Are you smoking? Stop smoking. How much alcohol are you taking? Cut down or cut it out. Those are some examples of lifestyle changes. I'm not, saying on this stream that I'm recommending Zobo drink as a way to completely, to heal or cure these conditions. No, I'm saying that they could, to some extent, help to manage hormone imbalances, and it's a natural way of doing so, in addition to whatever treatments that you're having already, or perhaps something that you want to consider. And I would usually recommend that you do have a conversation with your doctor around these things. All these are foods, and the important thing is moderation, always, at any point that you're using them. Welcome to everybody joining in from TikTok. So glad that you guys are joining me tonight. So hi to Violet, hi to Mishmash. Oh, I like that. Hi to Mishmash. Hi Beres. Hi Mariam. Hi Amma. I'm so sorry if I missed you earlier. Hi Fumi or JME. Nice to see you. I think I'm all caught up. So that is that's Zobo. I don't know if I had anything else to say about it. So so there are different ways that you can do this Zobo. I saw a suggestion about how you can create a hibiscus mocktail. So you prepare your infusion, prepare the drink, and after it's cooled, you can add some sparkling water, a little bit of sparkling water to it, add some mint, add some orange slices. Man, we're already in the party spirit. So if you don't want to have a cocktail, you can have a hibiscus mocktail. So that's an example for somebody who might be interested. But I also wanted to mention, if you're not really into the whole Zobo hibiscus infusion kind of thing, perhaps you're a cranberries person. So now on the slides, I'm going through cranberries, and they are another power-packed type of foods, because they have high anti-inflammatory properties, and they're also antioxidants. They also support the health of the liver. So this is something else. If you're not a hibiscus person, cranberries are another good source. And of course, they're a traditional Christmas meal for many people, used to having cranberry sauce with turkey or over your vegetables and so on. So you could really up this. But apart from sauce, there's so many other ways that you can you can have your cranberries. You can have dried cranberries. You can put them in bread, or you can put them in your muffins if you bake at home. Cranberry juice, and all sorts of different ways that you can have your cranberries, not just as a sauce. So please consider it. Could be helpful if if you're suffering with fibroid symptoms, bloating, or bleeding, PMS symptoms, and other high estrogen conditions. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I think we're sort of nicely going through our list. Let us see. Hi, Ifoma Wanosike. Thank you so much for joining, Ifoma. How are you doing? Good to have you on the stream. I hope that you're getting one or two things from tonight's conversation. So let's move on to the next one, which is one of my favorite foods. It's oily fish. I love eating fish. So mackerel, tilapia, salmon, different options, for fish lovers. And why not? Why not over Christmas? Yes, we eat fish all the time, but why not? But I think particularly if you have I'm still on thanks. Thank you thank you so much for asking. So I think we're still on. Let's get rid of the cranberry. Thank you, cranberry. Nice to have you. Let's go on to the fish. Okay. Right. So yeah, fish. Really important. They've got a fantastic benefit when it comes to reducing inflammation and balancing hormones. And these foods that we've talked about, okay, eating in moderation, that I haven't mentioned controlling of weight, but they do contribute to that. Okay, I haven't mentioned per se that they will also help with weight. And again, in moderation, yam and potatoes are high carbs, so you need to be careful how much of them that you're taking. But I am suggesting that using them to replace heavier carb or fat options is a healthier option. I think that's the best way to look at it. But going back to fish, so omega-3s in fish help to reduce inflammation. So it's the omega-3 fatty acids that we're particularly interested in. Now, so these fish options, fatty fish options, they're high in omega-3, and omega-3 in particular helps to reduce inflammation. Now, omega-3 are essential fatty acids. Now, these are essential because our bodies need them. They are essential for several different processes or functions in the body, but we can't make them. So we have to take them from our food or from supplements in order to survive. That's why they're called essential. And they're part of the cell of every single cell, part of the cell wall or cell membrane of every single cell of the body. That is why they are so important. Hi guys, just joining on TikTok. Please don't forget to like this, guys. Please, I'd really appreciate that. I think you can do that by double tapping your screen. So please go ahead and do that for me. So omega-3 really important in creating the hormone imbalance. So if you're somebody who you feel that come beginning of January, you're really sort of feeling down, sluggish, really exhausted, your hormone balance is an issue. My goal is to sort of, before you get there, let's start planning ahead before we get to the 31st of December or to the 1st of January, and just looking carefully and just making a bit of a choice and giving yourself some room, whether because you might be cooking at home or you're going to parties or whatever. Think about the options, think about the healthier options that you can use that can have an potential effect on balancing your hormones. That's what I'm particularly interested in. So we've talked about fish, omega-3, that's the key thing to help to overcome the persistent inflammation. And if you're interested, what happens is, if your body is in a state of chronic inflammation, there are some enzymes. For example, an enzyme called aromatase is important where it comes to the production of estrogen and sex hormones, because it's aromatase that converts testosterone into estrogen. And this happens in both men and women. So if you have, in a state of chronic inflammation, you have a lot of the activity of this aromatase, and that's why you can end up with high estrogen levels as a result of chronic inflammation. So one of the things that, eating foods that have this high anti-inflammatory effects is to counter that and help to bring back a normal balance, and that this is being done naturally. Now, we still need a lot of studies that tell us, hi there, I just saw something very colorful. I'm not really sure what happened, but if it was you, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. It's because I'm not looking at the screen all the time. I'm paying attention to what's going on. Okay, so different ways to make your fish, to do your fish. You can grill your fish, you can roast your fish, you can, what else can you bake your fish? You can fry your fish. Just many different things that you can do with your fish. You can jazz it up during this holiday period, using different types of spices, to make it and you don't let anybody shame you or make you think that you're not being festive enough. It's your health. It's your health, and you can make it tasty. Look, it's good for snacking, low fat content as so it's not going to low carb content as well. So I mean, fried fish with jollof rice. Who would say that? Fried fish with jollof rice and maybe a small portion of dodo and moi moi. Oh my goodness, don't get me started. Anyway, so all that could help with if you have endometriosis, PCOS, PMS. These are conditions to think about. Salmon as well is also on that list, and I know I've been to a couple of places where, as an alternative to turkey or beef, we had nice slices of turkey as the main meal. So consider those as options. Okay, so let us look at the very next one, which I know lots of people would like and enjoy, and this is dark chocolate or raw cocoa. Now, for two reasons that I want to highlight. It has more than two benefits, but the two I really want to highlight. One is the high content of magnesium in cocoa and dark chocolate, high quality dark chocolate, because of the way that magnesium can reduce cortisol, which is your stress hormone. So particularly for people going through PMS, it might be something that would help to calm down, help you relieve the stress. Oh, thank you so much for liking Jobel 229. You're a star. Thank you so much. Guys, please like the live. I would really appreciate it. But Jobel, you are the star. Thank you so much for doing that. So magnesium, to counter the effects of cortisol and stress, that would be very helpful for people with PMS, or who suffer generally from hormone imbalance, or just the stress of Christmas, going to get gifts and going to organize things and going to do this, that, or the other. Just consider a cocoa drink with raw, real high quality cocoa, high quality dark chocolate. I should have mentioned something about when I was talking about fish, and I think it's becoming more and more important. So I'm sorry to just sort of distract, but let's go back to that. The source of your fish is really important. The waters in which our fish grow, and I'm speaking generally and across the world. Clearly, there are some areas where there is less pollution, but pollution and endocrine disrupting chemicals are becoming more and more important in terms of the food that we eat. And not just that, it's also about the processing. So there are fish and meat produce that are grown and are treated chemically that can potentially and contain these endocrine disrupting chemicals that can actually make the hormone picture worse. So please be careful and look very, very, especially if you live in countries where there is a lot of treatment of fish and beef. Be careful to look at the source of your produce, because if you're eating those products that have been through processing, there is a possibility that they may contain some of these EDCs. And so what you need to be doing is, sort of, for some people, halal produce, natural or fresh caught fish, are some of the terms that you might be looking for. In some parts of the world, not so much an issue at the moment, but yeah, I think it's something that we need to be aware of and be conscious of, especially if you're already encountering or experiencing hormone-related issues. So yeah, thank you so much. More likes. Okay, hi. Thank you so much, David Ross. Thank you, Mariam. Thank you for joining. Back to cocoa. So we talked about magnesium. The second important issue is that dark chocolate is one of the best sources of antioxidants you can find. One of the best sources you can find of antioxidants. So it's loaded. Dark chocolate is loaded with different compounds that function as antioxidants. In fact, one study, and whenever I read this, it blows my mind. One study showed that cocoa and dark chocolate had more antioxidant activity, polyphenols, flavonols, than any other fruit tested, including blueberries, where it's quite high. But of course, there's always a but. They also contain a lot of calories. So the chocolate also contains a lot of calorie, a lot of sugar. So the bottom line is still moderate consumption. So like you can see as I'm streaming along, you can have your chocolate in so many different ways, as a hot drink, or just munch on a piece of chocolate, but please munch with care. Don't eat too much. Munch in moderation. But yeah, it can be quite, the antioxidant nature of this might help for certain people. So as an after dinner snack, 1 or 2 pieces of chocolate, or a warm drink, especially in the cold where I am in the UK, that would be a useful, really useful and healthy drink and snack. Thank you so much, you guys that are watching. I really appreciate it. Guys on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, thank you so much for watching. I haven't got much questions from you, but I appreciate you're here. And if you're watching on the replay as well, thank you so much. Don't forget, you can send in your questions around this subject. Very happy to take them in and have a conversation about hormone health. What else you can do in terms of your lifestyle changes that you want to really focus on this month, but also going into next year as well. What healthier options that you can choose to make a difference. So as you can see, the next one we're talking about is leafy greens, spinach, kale, all sorts of leafy green mixed vegetables, ugu, Okazi, if you're from my side of the world, so many different leafy green options, whatever option that you like, there are so many inventive ways you can use them. Really max them over the holiday, because yes, they contain fiber, they can help to, they'll help with your weight. Yes, that's true. But they also help to cut down on excess estrogen. They're good for your gut health. So many good reasons that you can find to boost or increase the amount of leafy greens you're having, especially this period. Now, for some people, it's already a part of their lifestyle, and that's all fine, that's all great. I also want to preface the fact that we don't have any evidence that tells us, okay, how much of this every day will make a significant difference in terms of my hormone health. So we don't have that. I can't say to you, if you eat leafy greens 3 times a day, 2 or 3 times a week, this is how it's going to affect your hormone health. We don't have that information, but we know from studies that they can help to make a difference. And so yes, I would encourage that you make this part of your routine and use it to replace certain things. So if you're going to have a plate of jollof rice, for example, and it was just going to be that jollof rice and a piece of chicken, then you could remove 1/4 of the rice and replace it with some leafy greens, and that will make a difference, not just in terms of the amount of reducing the amount of carbs that you're taking, but also increasing the amount of fiber that you're getting, plus the other benefits of the greens like the antioxidants and helping your liver function and your gut health. So just a few suggestions about how we can do these things. It can be a bit tricky if it's something you're not used to. It can be a bit tricky because this is the holiday period that you've been working hard. It's the time to let your hair down. You want to relax, you want to drink, you want to this. But I think with making just small changes, you can reap the positive benefits. And so I would really encourage you to do it, especially for my, sisters out there dealing with estrogen imbalance or hormone imbalance situations, PCOS, endometriosis, perimenopause or menopause, and so on. So just a reminder, let us all know, we're not going to hide it from ourselves, the foods that will create havoc for our hormones. Lots of sugary food, sugary cookies, because they'll just spike your insulin. That will also affect your other hormones. Heavy fried dishes, I've mentioned that before. Heavy fried food, it will take inflammation. It's a pro-inflammatory. Should I say inflammation pro max? It will just build and increase the amount of inflammation going on in the body. So heavy fried dishes, let's avoid that. Excess alcohol, let's avoid that if we can, as much as possible. I mean, if you can stick to no alcohol or 1 alcohol a day, better than even going to excess amounts. That will mess with your liver function. And if you mess with your liver function, it means that your liver can't break down any of the excess hormones, and that leads to hormone imbalance. So just a few things to remember, to keep in mind as we all, enjoy the holiday. So guys, I want to know, I've been talking about this for the last few minutes. My suggestion is try adding maybe 1 or at least 2 of these hormone-friendly options that I've talked about. Let me get rid of the spinach because that's the last one. Try adding, some of them to your diet. Consider just incorporating or replacing, because I know it's tricky. It's a tricky time to start a diet. It's a tricky time to make those kind of adjustments. But my push is that if you do this, you will see the benefit come the first week in January. So especially if you're dealing with PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis, perimenopause or menopause symptoms, and you're looking at how can I just support my health, tiny little changes could make a difference. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're getting on. Let me know if you do intend to make any of these changes or make any changes at all in terms of your diet. Usually you would have X amount of drinks on Christmas Eve or, Christmas Day. But now you want to make this change. Let me know how you're going to do it, how you're getting on. I would really love to hear about it. Thank you so much, guys, on TikTok. Thank you to my top gifter. Thank you so much, everybody who's liked the stream. I really appreciate you guys. Next Sunday, I can't remember the topic we're discussing, but it is again related to how to keep a healthy, or how to have a healthy month, a healthy holiday. So if you guys have ideas you want me to sort of talk about, by all means, send them through and I will definitely consider them. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys again soon on TikTok. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, friends, YouTube, Instagram, did I say Instagram? YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what plans you have around healthy eating, what challenges the holidays and eating over the holidays could pose for, especially for people who want to pursue a natural options. And there are many people I hear from that say, oh, they don't want to go down the route of surgery or medication, or that they've even tried them and they didn't help. And so they're looking at what to do in terms of what to eat and how to go about tweaking their diet. Let me know what you're thinking, and let me know what you thought about this video, if it was helpful, if you found the suggestions useful and want to see anything else like this in future. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a happy new month. I hope you will join me next week, because I am coming up with more subjects around this matter, not this specifically, but other things that would sort of help us get into the next year stronger, physically, mentally, emotionally, and all those good stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Dr. Sylvia. I'm so excited you're here. In this video, you'll get excellent health tips that will make a real difference. But that's not all. I also create personalized guides, tools, and plans tailored to your specific needs. These resources will help you reach your goals faster and more effectively. Don't miss out on your free copies. Check out the links in the description box below. Before you watch this video, please like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue this health journey together. So, let's get started. I'll see you in the rest of the video.